LA didn't talk to me for like a year and a half. And then next time it happens, it's Heartbreak Hotel that he wants for TLC and Clive wants for Whitney, and Clive wins again. So me and LA, yeah, we're very good friends today.
Guys, that right there is another example of one of the people who never stood a chance with Davis. Producer and songwriter Soulshock, basically talking about how L.A. Reid wanted Heartbreak Hotel for TLC, like Lisa Left Eye Lopes said in Sister to Sister magazine in 1999. But Clive Davis used his power to forcefully take it from them and give it to Whitney Houston, all while was making millions off of TLC's back and literally giving them peanuts.
Well, 10 million albums, and how can we be broke? It's kind of, I can't go into everything right now, but trust me, you can sell 10 million albums and be broke if you have greedy people behind you.
Well, guess what? Allegedly, Chilli is now spilling that the tension with Davis was so much worse than him taking a record from them and taking money from them, cause allegedly, behind the scenes, Lisa Left Eye was going the hardest on him and calling him out on all his BS. Based on what's being said, Lisa had become increasingly vocal about the music industry and its control over artists, and she had clashed with speaking out about contracts, money issues, and creative control. There were even reports that she was working on a tell-all book or documentary that would expose the dark side of the entertainment world, but she ended up dying so mysteriously, like many other people who tried to expose and confront the big dogs, like.
So we went up there and held everybody hostage, and Puffy was the one that snitched us out. Yo, B, yo, your girl's up here mad bugging, yo. And I was like, oh, Puff, why you gonna snitch us out, dog? But he called it, yeah, because we kicked him out of the meeting. But it was rude. We interrupted Puffy's meeting, you know, and he was having a meeting. And Puff was like, I'm sorry, but we really got to handle this, dog. We need to know where this money at. You know, because we were getting sick and sweating and, you know, we was like really working hard for this money. Yes. And we wanted to know who the hell had our check. Who had it? LA said, so that's where we went.
Okay guys, so what happened to Left Eye was that in the final weeks of her life, she described feeling like she was being followed by a spirit. Then one night, a van she was riding in ran over a little boy. After arranging to pay for his hospital bills and funeral costs, Lisa said she held up his shoes and his last name was Lopes, the same as her. She believed the spirit that had been following her meant to unalive her, but took out the boy instead. Then, shortly afterwards, she took a road trip and swerved off the road in the crash that unalived her. Around the time of her death, she was staying at Dr. Sebi's Usha village, detoxing her mind and body, fasting and meditating, trying to connect to a higher power. And while there, Lisa brought a camera crew to the retreat and she documented everything, her thoughts, her fears, her dreams, and ultimately her death. However, let's just say that people have always said that given the circumstances, Left Eye's death never made any sense, and her fans believe that she was unalived for forging her own path and standing up to and other execs. Actually, by the early 2000s, Lisa had completed a deeply personal solo album, Supernova, filled with spiritual themes and raw emotion. But instead of backing her, L.A. Reid is rumored to have sidelined the project, questioning its commercial viability. Supernova was released only overseas, with no U.S. push, something that left Lisa hurt and increasingly distrustful of the label. And I don't know what lengths Reid may have gone to, but there have been rumors that he played a huge part in Lisa being blackballed. And allegedly, this was all under the instruction of Davis. See, Davis, who ran Arista Records, the parent company of LaFace that signed TLC, was the person who had the final say over what got released and promoted. And when it came to Lisa's solo work, the support simply wasn't there. And while was known for shaping iconic careers, he didn't seem to share Lisa's vision, even though she was effortlessly talented. In fact, there are whispers that he thought she was too volatile, too unpredictable, and therefore too much of a liability. And many fans believe Supernova was shelved not because it lacked merit, but because people like were too afraid of her voice. And y'all know that Lisa was the one who always stood on business in the group. For instance, when LaFace Records tried to control TLC's image and sound, Left Eye openly rebelled. During the making of their third album, Fan Mail, she felt her creative voice was being silenced by their producer, Dallas Austin, and instead of staying quiet, she publicly challenged her group mates T-Boz and Chilli to a solo album contest called The Challenge to prove who had the real star power outside of the label's machine. Baby, these kinds of things are what always got her in trouble, because to those she was challenging, she was beginning to look like a problem. And we know how problems get taken care of in Hollywood, right? And apparently, now that Davis has officially passed away, Chilli is reportedly finally gearing up to spill the real, unfiltered tea on the toxic tension between him and Lisa. I mean, the fear of executive blacklisting is completely out the window, meaning Chilli can finally drop the ultimate tell-all. Based on reports, Chilli has been talking about how, as much as TLC undoubtedly achieved remarkable success throughout the 1990s, securing an impressive 9 top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot 100, they were being paid peanuts. She's out here confirming those rumors about how Davis earned $75 million from TLC and gave them $150,000 to split up. And by the way, this is something they were actually pretty open about back in the day. Like, do y'all remember that viral press moment after they won at the Grammys? The girls said that they were no longer going to sugarcoat their situation because they had been quiet for long enough. They emphasized that they were the biggest selling female group ever and had sold 10 million albums worldwide, but were broke as broke can be.
This way, we are the biggest selling female group ever. 10 million albums worldwide. We have worked very hard. We have been in this business for 5 years. And we are broke as broke can be. And we're not like trying to be a sad story. If that was the case, we would have been on everybody's talk show talking about how broke we are. We haven't done that. I know it's hard to believe because we've sold so many albums, but it is possible. That's the deal here. So, and we're not happy at all. But for real, tonight, this is all we wanted. We wanted to win a Grammy, at least one, and we won 2, and that proves that we are the...
Now, when a reporter asked how it is possible to be broke after selling 10 million albums, Left Eye took the microphone to explain the industry dynamics, saying, you can sell 10 million albums and be broke if you have greedy people behind you. She also talked about how moving past financial hardships is incredibly difficult when you are legally trapped in restrictive or exploitative contracts that dictate where the money goes. Well, allegedly, Chilli has been saying that out of all the members of TLC, ultimately, Lisa is the one that was targeted. And here's why, guys. See, as much as they were all mad about how they were being treated, T-Boz and Chilli kinda played safe, but Left Eye refused to play the quiet, grateful pop star, and she went too hard on the machine, aka like, she also literally gathered a crew of women she met while doing community service from her arson case involving Andre Risen's house, drove to the Arista Records building in New York, walked right into a meeting between Davis and Diddy, and demanded their money. They reportedly started ripping TLC gold and platinum plaques right off the walls to take what was theirs. And all this was masterminded by Lisa Left Eye.
Clive Davis, we held them hostage like guns, the whole shebang. Yeah, it was like that.
Because, wait a minute. I want to make sure we understand.
Yes.
Guns?
Yes, guns.
With bullets?
With bullets.
Come on, give me the story,
I'm going to tell
baby.
you because TLC had generated on Crazy Sexy Cool $75 million and they gave us $50,000 a piece. So I was like, what the hell? So, of course, Lisa was the ringleader.
Like, we need to go get our money. I need to know where my MF and money's at.
So, you know, she was locked up in the diversion center for burning down the house. And she was just like, okay, we gonna get LaFace and them girls I was locked up with. We gonna drive up there. We gonna take the guns.
Baby, just imagine the absolute chaos in that room though. Like, can you picture how deeply humiliated Davis must have been? Do you see why definitely put a target on her back? Honey, the streets have always whispered that because Lisa was the ultimate loose cannon who couldn't be bought or silenced, she allegedly became a major target for the higher-ups who needed to shut down her truth-telling before she completely blew the lid off their wicked ways. And based on reports, this is exactly what Chilli is spilling. And yes, guys, I know that Left Eye and Chilli had a terrible fallout courtesy of Austin Dallas. And for those who recall, Chilli and Austin Dallas started started dating in the mid-90s after the producer worked on TLC hits such as Ain't Too Proud to Beg and Creep, and things were actually pretty serious between them. However, that allegedly didn't stop Austin from getting it on with Lisa, and he ended up sleeping with Left Eye despite his relationship with Chilli, and she eventually found out, and as one would expect, Chilli was pretty upset. Apparently, Chilli even confronted Lisa about the alleged betrayal and was provided with a cold response, which is that Lisa made Austin wear a rubber because she knew that Chilli had herpes. Well, at least according to what Suge Knight said.
We're really getting into it, checking the other two members of the crew. I remember them being jealous of her. I remember Chilli mad because Lisa slept with Dallas Austin and they in the group together. But Lisa respond was, but you know, you got herpes, so I made sure you put on rubber, so.
Basically, the messing around with Dallas is actually something that reportedly caused a lot of drama in the group and contributed to Lisa wanting to go solo. I've even heard sources claiming that after Lisa recorded her solo album Supernova, Chilli convinced Reid not to release it as payback for her quitting the group. So yes, there was a lot of tension between Chilli and Lisa, but she's reportedly putting all that aside to expose the truth about what really happened to her bandmate, which is that as Left Eye came closer to exposing the elites while forging her own path, they came up with ways to frustrate her and ultimately unalive her. Baby, I knew some deep dark secrets about. We're gonna start crawling out of the closet, but I don't think we're prepared for how dark it will really get. Apparently, there's so much more that's gonna hit us in the next coming days. But meanwhile, let me know whether you also believe he was behind the alleged unaliving of Lisa Left Eye in the comment section below.